Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 6, Tigers at A's.
Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We got another opening day in the American League. We got a game between the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Opening day. Tigers went to the World Series a year ago, lost to the Pirates in Oakland, lost in the divisional round to these Tigers, actually. I forget who Baltimore beat, but Baltimore made this the league championship. They beat the White Sox, I think. Anyway, Detroit at Oakland. By the way, Detroit, Mickey Lolich pitched games 1, 4, and 7 of the World Series a year ago, lost all 3. Can't ever recall seeing that happen to a guy in postseason before, particularly a guy as decorated as Mickey Lolich, but that's what happened. And today, opening day in Oakland, we've been touting their dynasty era, teasing it along. They went to the World Series a couple years ago, lost to the Cincinnati Reds in 7 games, and they need to get back. They're now in the window, but it was the 69, 70, 71 cards we thought were much better than the 72, 74 A's, but Baltimore was in the way. Now Baltimore's getting weaker, and the A's are getting stronger. So we're getting ready for the dynasty era, folks. Are you ready? I'm not sure, what's going to happen in the American League. There's a lot of good teams out there. Today from Oakland, Detroit, there he is, back on the hill, Mickey Lolich. Same card, 72 Lolich card. 22-14 with a 2.50 ERA and 327 innings. And for your Oaktown A's, oh yeah, Jim Catfish Hunter. Now I gotta say, 72 is probably his best year. 21-7 with a 2.04 ERA. Best way to beat Catfish Hunter is 2 or 3 solo home runs. That's all you're gonna probably get, and maybe win the game 2-1 or 3-2. Expect the pitcher still today from Oakland. Let's get started. Leading off for the Tigers, the rookie, the new kid, Ron LaFleur. This is his major league debut. 1.8 is a strikeout. John Stevenson, 1.8 is a grounder to short. And Al Kaline lines to short. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the first, it's new and improved Claudel Washington. 34 rolls to the mound. Bert Campaneris, 2-6, and there's our game's first hit. It's base hit to right field. Single A stealer. Tigers have John Stevenson catching in a platoon with Bill Freehan. Neither can particularly throw very well. I think Campaneris is going to take off, try and get a edge this year. Had some sloppy starts last few years. Let's get off to a quick start. He steals second base. Joe Rudy, 55, off the Lolich card, double 1 of 17. There's a base hit, and that scores a run. Oakland, 1-zip. Reggie, 2-7 for Reggie's a strikeout, and with 2 outs, Sal Bando. 2-2, a bouncer to short. 1-0 Oakland. Top of the second, it's Norm Cash. 39 second. Willie Horton here's a who, bounces a short. And Jim Northrup, 3-6. Let's take a look at a card. It's Jim Northrup's card. Yeah, if you've been watching this channel, you've been hearing me talking about the Tigers. There is like a time vortex where it's 1968 every year throughout the late 60s, early 70s. And we're getting near that end where eventually the clock is eventually going to tick to a point in the early mid-70s. Don't tell Jim Northrup because he hit 307 in 1973. 3-6, homer, 1 of 15, double the rest, and Jim Northrup starts 2024 with a bang. 1-1. Now it's Tom Verizor, 65. Triple on a 1, fly ball the rest, and you just got catfished. Catfish Hunter, triple 1, fly ball the rest on the roll of 6-5. Bottom of 2. It'll be Mike Hegan in a 1-1 tie. 34, grounds a third. Gene Tennis, 35, is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, new Oakland catcher, Pat Corrales. If you're wondering why it's Pat Corrales, it's because all the other Oakland catchers were snatched up. Dave Duncan, Ray Fosse, Larry Haney. So they have Pat Corrales as Gene Tennis's understudy. Here's the pitch to Pat. 66 off Lolich is a base hit. And with 2 outs, it's Larry Brown. For left fielder is Norm Cash. It's Northrup at 286. He makes the grab. Top of the third, Dick McAuliffe, 2-7's a walk. Number 9 hitter and rookie player, Dave Chalk. The latest third baseman to play for the Tigers. I'm kind of run out of. See if I can do this by memory. We have had, what's that? Cleet Boyer. That's right. It was Cleet Boyer, Aurelio Rodriguez, Elliot Maddox, Billy Grabarkowitz, and now Dave Chalk. The revolving door at third base for Detroit. And he got 6-5. And look at this, folks. Catfish got catfish. 6-5, triple 1, fly ball the rest. I'm going to assume Claudel Washington misplayed the ball in center field. That's the sun got in his eyes or something. And that lazy can of corn turns into a triple. Well, that could be a big deal in this game. The infield's going to come up with nobody out. Around the floor, 62, first C. Would have scored the run. John Stevenson, 47, lines a short. And Al Kaline, 2-5, probably a walk. Nope, ground ball to third. Well, as Catfish comes off the mound, he kind of turns around and stares into center field with a disgusted look on his face. It's 2-1 Tigers, bottom of the third. And here is Claudel Washington, 2-8, grounds a second. Burkamp and Ayers, 55, double 1 of 17, a 2-base hit. Joe Rudy, 34, lines a short, 2 outs. It's Reggie Jackson, 44, center X. And Tiger center fielder, no great shakes either. It's not Mickey Stanley today, even though he's a 182. No, it's Ron LaFleur, the rookie. And we'll get to see his first chance at a fly ball. What happens? Oh, yeah, it's a base hit. That's an RBI single by the center fielders, and each team surrendering runs. It's 2-2. Reggie's an ace stealer. He's going to take off. Reggie's got wheels. He can go. And he steals second base. Bando, no Bando, 45. Sky's the center. Well, look at this, folks. 2-2 after 3 frames. Balanced effort. Top of the fourth. A Storm Cash. 1-4. Bounce to short. Willie Horton. Sometimes here's a who. He strikes out. Jim Northrup. 1-8. Grounds a short. Catfish is retired 6 in a row since what should have been a fly out there. Bottom of the fourth, it's Mike Hegan, 65, center. Gene Tennis, 1-5, hit by the pitch. Pat Corrales, 37 is a walk. That's why they got Pat. He has some walks on his card. 13 and 120 at-bats. You know how Oakland loves their walks. 2 on, 1 out, Larry Brown. 4-10, flies to right, and with 2 outs, big moment here for Claudel Washington. 37, he swings and he misses. Top of the fifth, we go. Tom Verizor, a.k.a. Tom Verizor, 48, lines a third. Dick McAuliffe, 38, grounds the first. And Dave Chalk, 49, pops to third. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Here we go in the bottom of the fifth. It's Burkamp and Ayers having a good opener. 2 for 2. 69 off Lolich. Sky is the center. Joe Rudy, 310. 5's left. And Reggie, 32. Grounds to the pitcher. Now, our starters, who have done a pretty good job outside of some miscues in the field. Lolich is a starter 9. And my starter 9s can go 10 if needed. Catfish Hunter's only a starter 8. How many innings did he throw? 295. I guess you got to throw over 300 innings to become a starter 9 in this era. So Hunter can't go in the extras. Lolich could if it stays 2-2. Top of the 6th, it's Ron LaFleur. We are hoping this guy gets to first base so we can attempt a stolen base, something Detroit hasn't done in 3 years. Ron LaFleur, 1-6. Triple. Let's take a look at it. Might as well. The Ron LaFleur card of 1975. You know, here's the thing. He probably really isn't ready to compete for a World Series at this moment. But in 75, the Tigers were awful. And they probably just put the kid out in center field and say, hey, you're playing every day. You got to learn how to play baseball and catch the ball. And they just threw him out there in center. He hit 258. And he's a 4+1 E11 in center field. Ouch, which means Mickey Stanley will probably finish all games. But 1-6 here is triple 1-8, single the rest, and we get the single, and you know what's coming, folks. The Detroit Tigers are going to attempt a stolen base. Give me a moment here. Stevenson's an E, Kaline's an E, Cash is an E, Horton's an E, Northrup's a D, Verizon's a D, McCullough's an E, Mickey Stanley is an E, Terrell, Jerry Terrell's a B, Freehand is an E. Anyway, here it is, folks. Ron LaFleur is taking off, and he's in there, and there it is. The Detroit Tigers have stolen a base. I believe that's the first one in 3 years. The last Tiger to steal a base may have been... ouch. This is tough. The last Tiger to steal a base. The last Detroit Tiger to steal a base. Might have been Elliot Maddox, maybe? Or could I? Yeah, I don't know. That's just... I can't remember what I had for breakfast. I asked this one. All right, he's at second, and the batter's John Stevenson. 5-10's a strikeout. Al Kaline, 42, rolls the pitcher. Norm Cash, 54, pops the second. If you're thinking, you should have had LaFleur steal third, I would do that with a double-A, particularly off a 0+1 arm, occasionally. But generally, I'm not really crazy about the idea of stealing anyway. Bottom of the 6th. A relative pitcher still with runs on the board. Tied. It's Bando. No, Bando. 33 rolls a short. Mike Hegan. 66 is a strikeout. Mike Hegan. Just saw a highlight the other day from Robin Cesar Geronimo in a double in the bottom of the 9th of Game 2 of the 72 series. If he catches that ball, it's a double play and the game's over. But yeah, great highlight from Mike Hegan, one of many first basemen and many second basemen Oakland employed in this, and catchers. I think Oakland had 6 catchers, 6 first basemen, and 6 second basemen over the dynasty years. Ridiculous. Anyway, enough of that. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Gene Tennis. 1-6, a strikeout. Another classic. So the opener, the first game you saw, if you watched it, Giants Pirates, that was a 7-7 tie, went to extras. We are on our way to another classic finish here. Top of the 7th, it's Willie Horton. Here's a who. 4-11, left X. Joe Rudy, a 1E2. 2 makes the catch. Jim Northrup had a solo homer earlier. 66, double 104 off of the Hunter card. He knows how to hit Hunter. That's a 2-base hit. Big moment. We got a guy in scoring position for Tom Verizon. 3-6. Let's take a look at this one, folks. Tom who? Tom Verizon. What a fun card this turned out to be. 55 plate appearances in 1974. It's 236. But look, the homers and walks are advantageously split. 2 homers, 5 walks. All the homers versus the righty, most of the walks versus the lefty. So this is a very workable full-time card for the Tigers. And 3-6 here. He just hit one out of the Coliseum to the chagrin of Catfish Hunter. It's 4-2 Tigers. What is going on? Dick McAuliffe, 37's a K. And Dave Chalk, 48 lines a third. Tigers are thinking defense here. And yeah, it's that time. Yeah, I know Ryland Flores on deck, but no thanks. Mickey Stanley trots out the center field in an effort to protect the 2-run lead. And that's the only defensive change for your Tigers. Stretch time. In the Oakland Coliseum, oh boy, folks, we are enjoying Inspiration Information. Big double CD set from the Inspiration Information LP plus newer stuff. Inspiration Information, Out of My Head, Sparkle City, Island Letters, classic song. And then there's a whole bunch of more stuff. You've probably heard this thing many, many, many times. This is like the Oakland A's house band for the timeline. Shuggy Otis, Johnny Otis's kid, if you're into that sort of thing. Bottom of the 7th, back to the game. Oakland's down a couple. Lolich isn't going anywhere. He's a starter 9. He's going for a CG. Plus, he wants to erase that 3-game World Series losing streak against a contender. It'll be Pat Corrales leading off. 2-3, grounds is short. Finally got him out. That's the first time Corrales has gotten out in the game. Larry Brown. 55, double one to 17. That's a 2-base hit. And the bottom 2, Pat Corrales and Larry Brown, have reached 3 out of 6 times. Better than most of the Oakland lineup. Claudel Washington. 56, we got an RBI, folks. A double one to 2, base hit. We got a 4-3 game. We got the suddenly speedy Claudel Washington. In the draft, we upgraded Claudel Washington from 74 to 75. Turns him into an ace stealer and a 300 hitter. And maybe we try a stolen base here to prove that merit. Let's do it. Get in the scoring position with 1 out. And that didn't work. He just got cut down stealing. Okay, a little aggressive there, but whatever. It's Burkamp and Harris. 1-2, and he grounds to short, and he hurts himself. Okay, this is going worse for the A's. All right, I need a shortstop. I'm going to send Larry Brown over there, and we're going to put Dick Green at second base. Simple as that. Top of the 8th, still 4-3. Hunter's hanging in there. It's the starter 8. And it'll be the new leadoff man, Mickey Stanley. 46 is a pop to short. John Stevenson. 1-4, rolls a second. Al Kaline, 1-7 is a base hit, and with 2 outs, it's Norm Cash. 59 off a Catfish, flies to left field. It's a 4-3 thriller. Bottom of the 8th, Lolich a starter 9. We have left Lolich into these games, into those World Series games, way too long. Are we going to commit the same fate? We'll find out. We got the meat, folks. We got Rudy Jackson Bando Hegan due up. Here is their left fielder, Joe Rudy, 1 for 3 with an RBI. 45, skies the center. Reggie's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. 2-10 is a roller to second. And Bando, Sal Bando's over. 1-8 is a strikeout. I think Lolich might have some protection here in the 9th inning. You got John Hiller warming. Can't let Lolich lose this opener. And we'll go to the 9th, and, I'm going to pull Catfish Hunter as a starter 8. It's not really gone his way today. He's had some bad breaks. And, if this was World Series game, I'd leave him in there, but it's just the first day of the season. So we're going to go Dave Hamilton. Nice lefty setup guy in the 9th inning. Left-handed pitcher in there. Turn some of these lefties around. Willie Horton. 4-11, first X. Hegan is a 2E10, and he makes the play. Jim Northrup against a lefty, 48, pops the first. And here's Tom Berrizero, the difference of the game. 32, pops the second. Nice job, Dave Hamilton. Here we go, folks. Bottom of the 9th. Get ready. Here it is. Lolich is going out there to start the inning. John Hiller is up and warming. I am not going to let Lolich lose the game. He gets one base runner. That's it. Can't have it happen. Can't go 0 for 4 in against the Pirates and A's. It's just not something I want to do. So you got lefty Mike Hegan, Gene Tennis, then you got Corrales and Brown. He really should be able to get through these 4 batters, you'd think. Here is Mike Hegan. 210. Let's take a look at the Mike Hegan card, folks. Again, one of many first basemen for the Oakland A's, because this version of Mike Hegan had all of 86 plate appearances for the A's in 72. That's not going to get you through an entire season at first base. You're going to need more dudes like Gonzalo Marquez and Don Mincher and Mike Epstein and freaking Tennis. Maybe you put Dave Duncan over there. I don't know who else you put at first base, but 210 is a base hit for Hegan. And I think that's it. We're going to pull Mickey. Yep, 8 innings and a batter. Tennis and then a couple clowns. And then I'm going to go George Culver to start the inning. Go with the righty to face Tennis, because that will get these clowns out of the bottom there. So George Culver comes on in the 9th. Did a really good job for the Tigers last year as a free agent signed away from the Houston Astros. 6-2 with a 3.06 ERA, 97 innings for those Stros. He became the Tiger setup guy. He's coming in now with a runner at first. Slow runner, Hegan. And will face Gene Tennis, the winning run. Here's the pitch to Gene Tennis. 45 off Culver is short X. This is where you could use a Bud Harrelson, Mark Belanger, Larry Boa. The Tigers have Tom Verizon. 3E44, shortstop. This could be trouble. A 3. E44. It is an error. Of course it is, folks. Of course it is. It didn't hurt the Tigers. I guess it did hurt the Tigers. They lost the World Series. It didn't hurt the Pirates. Pirates won the World Series. They had Frank Taveras playing short. He was also a 3E44, which meant that one of the two teams had to win the World Series with a lousy shortstop. 2 on, nobody out. Pat Corrales is in nowhere land here. And we only have 2 guys. It would have to be Ontiveros or Rusty Torres. Rusty Torres will be the pinch hitter. Now, I'm going to warn Tigers, if you bring in Hiller, this dude's bunting. If you leave Culver in there, he's swinging away. And it doesn't matter. That's it. They're going Hiller. John Hiller. This is a 4-alarm fire here in the bottom of the 9th. And the Tigers get an uneasy feeling in their stomachs. So the only time they ever feel good is when John Hiller's out there. Here he is, 1973 Hiller, 10-5, a .144 ERA in 125 innings, trying to save this game with a tie run at second, nobody out, winning run at first. Rusty Torres is the batter. He's dismal, to be nice, against left-handed pitching, but he's a B-bunter. So he's going to bunt this thing. He needs a 2-9 here from the bunt. He gets the 9. Oh, that was close. So, yeah, nice bunt, Rusty Torres. Something Corrales couldn't have dropped down. You got guys at second and third with 1 out. I'm smelling extra innings, folks. And you got number 9 hitter Larry Brown. Let's take a look at the Larry Brown card. So, if you're wondering, yeah, he has to play because Bert Campaneris got hurt. So Brown and Dick Green are the double play combo. You know, he's terrible versus a right-handed pitcher, but he's really awful against lefties too. So I don't think John Hiller has too much to worry about. They're bringing the infield up. They don't want to go extra innings. And could you imagine if Larry Brown squirts one through the plus here to walk this thing off? That's what the A's are hoping for. Increase Larry Brown's batting average. That would be a roll of 3-6, folks. So the infield's come up with 1 out, runners to second and third. And here's your pitch to Larry Brown. 2-7 for Larry Brown. That's a single dot. That's the ball game. Let's show you the Brown card again. Unbelievable. Larry Brown, one of Again, the 42nd baseman in 1972, he had 142 at-bats. Dick Green got hurt. He had like 50 at-bats. I don't know who else they had playing second base. I think they might have had Phil Garner or Keith Drumright or Tony Phillips. I've got no idea. But anyway, 2-7 single ... after the Rusty Torres bunt wins the game for your Oaktown A's. How about that, folks? The bottom two. And by the way, if you add in what Corrales did earlier, they were 4 for 7. Pat Corrales, Larry Brown, and Rusty Torres. And that's the reason why you won the game. Congratulations, Oakland. We'll get you the box, and then we'll get you the results of this best-of-5 series. So stay tuned. All right, baseball fans, here's the box score from Game 1 that you just saw. The Miracle A's come back in the bottom of the 9th with some help by bad Tiger defense and a good sack bunt and role players. Lolich, 8 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Catfish Hunter, 8, 6 and 4. Hamilton, an uneventful 9th, gets the victory. Culver takes a loss because his batter reached via an error. And so that's what Oakland did. Won Game 1, 5-4. What did they do in Game 2 for an encore in the Bay? Game 2, it is going to be Joe Coleman versus Ken Holtzman. Little warning to the Tigers. Joe Coleman played in the Winter Baseball Classic with this particular card, and he didn't pitch very well against quadruple A players, if you saw the Winter Baseball Classic. And extends here, same thing. 6 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs. Bob Veal made his Tiger debut after being out of baseball a few years. Former Met Gary Gentry got in this game in the bullpen for the Tigers. Meanwhile, it was Ken Holtzman promoted into the 2 spot after Catfish was promoted into the 1 spot after they dealt Vita Blue. Holtzman, 7 2/3, 8 hits, had a shutout going until Bill Freehan had a 3-run homer in the 8th. Too little, too late, a 9-3 victory for your Oaktown A's. Reggie Jackson is saying, look, no letdown, whistle to whistle, bell to bell. We're going to take this thing. And Reggie, yeah, he's backing it up. He had a 3-for-5 day in a 9-3 victory. So what happens to the Tigers as they go home? Is it bad, they get some bad room service in Oakland? What's up with the Tigers? Game 3 in Detroit. They got to win this game to avoid being swept. It is Don Wilson, the new number 3 pitcher for Oakland. Would be an ace on most teams. Against Tom Timmerman. Don Wilson pitched 6 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Bullpen, 3 scoreless frames. This thing got away from the Tigers early and late. First inning, Timmerman has issues. Single, walk, sac fly, a 2-out, 2-run single, Mike Egan. Second inning, a couple singles, an error by one of those new third basemen the Tigers have, Terrell. Another 2-run single by Mike Egan. Egan goes 4 for 5 in this game. In the 8th inning, well, let's go back to the 7th inning for a moment. The best chance the Tigers had was loading the base in the 7th inning. And to do that, LaFleur singled. McAuliffe singled to right. LaFleur put on the brakes at second. He was told, don't run on Reggie. Then another single by Kaline into right field. Rounding third, he jams on the brakes, don't run on Reggie. Then when the base is loaded and nobody out, Norm Cash hits a fly ball to right field. He tries a sac fly. The rookie gets thrown out at the plate by Reggie on a 15. He's a 17 runner, got thrown out on a 15, trying to tag up on the -5 arm. And then that's pretty much a ball game. And Reggie hits a 3-run homer in the 8th. 11-3 Oakland is scaring the American League right now because the Tigers are looking old and faded, and the A's are looking like they're coming for the trophy that they should already have. So this Oakland pitching staff is the best pitching staff we've seen for them, minus Vita Blue, of course. And the offense, man, 1-7. You can't be better than 1-7 on Oakland. Only the last 2 batters are questionable. And the Oakland A's begin the 2024 campaign with a 3-game sweep of your World Series runner-up Detroit Tigers. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.